Excuse me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I just have a real problem with what students. My name is Anthony Wong, and today my topic, which we'll be talking about, is standardized testing for college acceptance. Professor Kirkman spoke about it a little bit, and today I'll be going on about that. So, just for starting, how many of us took the SAT or the ACT before coming here? Pretty much all, right? And how many of us felt that that grade that we got on there, whether we took it once or twice, accurately reflected who we are? So maybe two. So today, according to College Board, who administers the tests, across the country, more than 2 million high school students, mostly juniors and seniors, take the SAT every year. All students are unique, all of us, in both our strengths and our weaknesses, which cannot be seen on paper. Through life experiences and cultural influences, it is unfair that students be compared by this single test. This determines our academic future in so many ways. The claims that I'll be talking about today are that the SAT has consistently shown bias against lower-income students. Secondly, that this SAT does not take into account students' varied cultural differences, as we spoke about, and educational backgrounds. Thirdly, that the SAT scores are overemphasized today in college acceptance choices. First off, credible tutoring, specifically for SATs, such as Kaplan, can cost approximately $4,000. If I could just see a show of hands of how many people took some type of prep class before taking the SAT. And did you feel it benefited you? Okay. So, seeing that it costs so much, or depending on how much you pay for it, some people don't have that readily available. Many cannot afford the proper tutoring for their desired score to get into that school that they want. Another thing is that the SAT has always cost $45 from the first time. On average, students are encouraged to always take the SAT twice, and that they will always do better on the second time. Fee waivers are available, but only granted to a small percentage of students. Higher income households have always been reported as scoring higher. Lastly, for this point, is that the Orsman-Regatta question. It's recorded that the SAT was pulled because they had questions that commonly only upper-class lifestyles could relate to. My second claim is that the SAT does not take into account students' varied cultural differences and educational background. So, Christina Perez wrote about in the Journal of College Admission that some schools may be accredited, some may not. So, there's no way that someone can take two different classes and they can both go into the SAT equally prepared. Some students don't perform well on tests just naturally. The SAT is unlike any other test that we can ever take, but it can be prepared for with the Kaplan and other such programs. It's a 3-hour test, multiple choice, which is a difficult testing format. It has an essay and it is timed. SAT scores are overemphasized in college acceptance choices, is my third and final claim. Colleges should continue to look, I believe, for well-rounded individuals, but should toss out the SAT. They should look at whether a student is the GPA, is active in their community, or their school. Good test scores do not equal a successful student. In conclusion, the SAT continues to be nothing more than a one-dimensional test that is based on how well you take this test and this test only. It is overemphasized in its importance today, and I hope that you guys take this into consideration and the inaccuracy of the standardized tests. So, thank you.
All right, Anthony, the proposition sounds like it's a value claim because you are talking about it not being fair, and I think you want to stick to the factual issues. Most of your supporting points are factual issues, so it shouldn't be too hard to phrase it in a way that emphasizes the factual point. You had a very good preview of the contents of the speech, and like I said, they all were stated as issues of fact, so that was pretty solid. I think you need to do a little bit more to suggest that there is some controversy on this. Even if what you're saying is true, are people denied access to schools that they want to go to? Is there a group of people that don't get into college as a result of taking the SAT? You know, the flaws that you point out, we don't have any individual cases or situations where there's been a consequence of that, and I think that that would really strengthen the argument, especially in the introduction. You did a very good job signposting the secondary claims as you went through the speech, so it's fairly easy to follow. Your proof on the points, well, you've got some good factual information early on, and there are a couple of good quotes. I think you need a little bit more statistical data about the bias issues that you're talking about. You've got one example about the Kaplan course and how it could make a difference, but we don't have any indication that it has made a difference for anybody. There's not even a statistic that suggests that people who take the Kaplan course do better on the test than people who don't take the test. All you've got is kind of a show of hands of people, and then you're asking them the question. And so I think you need better proof on that particular point. On the presentation, I know you kind of apologized at the beginning, and I'm sure if you've taken a public speaking class, somebody's told you, don't worry about that. If you've got anxiety or are uncertain, just go ahead. Most people have some level of anxiety on those kinds of issues, and drawing attention to it probably undermines your credibility a little bit. I thought you sounded fine, relatively confident. Maybe you have a couple of issues that are problematic that you could do better on, like your hands plunged into your pockets and rushing a little bit through the presentation, but it wasn't anything that would, I think, be cause for people to be concerned about your anxiety level, and drawing attention to it, I think, is, like I said, a bit of a problem. All right, thank you.